is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Average Gamer Podcast, episode number 18. I have it up again. Normally don't. Yeah, we're back. Episode number 18. It's been like 2 weeks since the last one, and like I pretty much say every time we do one of these, not a lot has changed. No. In the gaming world, no, not a whole lot has changed, but we do have some cool stuff to talk about. As you've seen from the title, I can't speak, but we're gonna be talking on some fun topics. One of them, obviously, being the new tactical shooter Valorant by Riot Games, who are obviously the guys over at League of Legends. But yeah, that's the big topic for today, Valorant. Now, obviously, if you guys know Riot Games, they've come out with a few versions like of League of Legends, team fight tactics. But they're big games, League of Legends, right? And people are kind of like, are they a one-hit wonder? That's the big question going around in terms of them as a brand and as a company, because they're big games, League of Legends. Now, obviously, if you don't know League of Legends, then I feel bad. But at the same time, it's not like I play it. So if you don't know it, then no hate, because gonna be honest, I hate League of Legends as well as Dota. I don't like MOBA games, so can't hate on you. But nevertheless, that doesn't even matter. We're just talking about Riot Games. Over the guys over at League of Legends are building a competitive 5v5 tactical shooter very similar to CSGO. But the main big difference between, CSGO and this game is there's characters with abilities. So it's kind of like CSGO, and I was saying more like Paladins. If you don't know what Paladins is, it's a game, Steam. People call it the free-to-play Overwatch because it's free to play. But the game looks like Paladins. If you watch Paladins and then you go and watch Valorant's official 3 minute of alpha gameplay they put up, I believe, yesterday, it looks very close to Paladin's art style, and the abilities wise are pretty interesting. Now, you may say CSGO with abilities. That sounds kind of dumb. And I'll be honest, for me, at first, it was kind of like, eh. Then the idea kind of kept going into my head, and it's like CSGO in and of itself is sort of bland. You know, it's really bland, and everyone knows every map. Like, I can't play CSGO these days, and now that it's free to play, it's hacker filled. Like, every time I die, I'm sus. I'm the guy who killed me. Like, I'm sitting there like, okay. So yeah, I don't really play a whole lot of CS:GO, but I'm gonna be showing some gameplay on the screen, so you guys can see kind of what it's like, and it's just looping here. Yeah, there we go. You can see it's really simple, and I like that. And actually, this is towards the end of the match. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. Restart it. Oh, there we go. So it's reset. So it'll play on screen here. But as you see it, you're gonna notice it's pretty CS:GO like. Now, in the beginning of this match, you'll see the buy screen. But when they run up, this is the defensive side. You'll see that they're stopped by these barriers at a certain level. It's not when the round starts, everyone starts moving. Like, the defense sets up first. Like, they have map control. And if you look at the mini map in the top left, it's a little bit interesting because they pretty much have every choke point set. So this game's going to be a lot of team pushing using abilities on a certain side to open it up. But yeah, as you see, it's going to start. The abilities spawn up. Here's like a smoke wall thing. But you'll see here, this is the big controversial thing. Boom, he uses an ability. He can see through the smoke. I don't want to use any more gameplay because you guys know how it is. But yeah, that was one of the big things with the gameplay that came out yesterday, where these abilities, I thought they were cool, and like one of the abilities the character can like chuck smokes. So there's no like I don't think there's utility in the game. You just buy weapons uh and armor. Everything else has to do with your abilities. And I don't know if you have to buy abilities or if they just come in at like the same time. So like if your team's playing as 5 characters, whatever, the other team's probably playing like the same 5 characters. So when your character gets an ability, their character's probably getting an ability. I think that's probably how it's gonna go because if it's by, score with abilities, that's a little bit rough because there's already the gun advantage with score if it is the same way as CS:GO, which I presume it is because if you go and watch the gameplay at the end, um, it's like fake comms. It's like all those trailers you see with like the fake communications. But the teammate is last alive, and his friend's asking him to grab the sniper. Or like in CS:GO, you want to grab the op because it's obviously the most expensive. Then you'll drop it for your sniper teammate or whoever's running the op. Uh, and he does that. So I'm assuming it's market based, right? Like CS:GO, which would be the smart thing to do because that makes CS:GO kind of unique to other FPS games, I guess, like Call of Duty. You just spawn in with the class you chose. League of Legends, it's a little bit like CS:GO. You have your market. The more kills you get, the better your team's doing. The more money you're gonna have to spend on abilities, on heals, on all these different kind of things. So I'm almost guaranteed they're going that way. But the abilities, I wonder how they're gonna be used. But again, I was saying that one ability right there was the big like click in everyone's head where they could see the person through the smoke and it was like, hmm, that's a little OP because in CS:GO, if you could shoot a dart, let's say we're playing Dust, you shoot a car or a dart, you peek through cat onto I think it's the B site. I might have that totally mixed up. You're looking through cat onto the B site, highway side. Um, and you can see where the enemy are if they're behind, plant or if they're, the back corner or if they're still on ramp. Like that's really OP. Uh, that takes no skill. Like you're not using audio cues. You're just shooting a dart and you can see where they are. So obviously Riot's gonna have to take the feedback they're getting and instantly start making changes with the game. And obviously, this was just alpha gameplay. I believe the alpha goes live this next month, and then it'll probably go beta, and then the game goes live this next summer of 2020. Uh, but one of the one of the big things I saw on Twitter was obviously this game. It's either people like it or they absolutely hate it, but no one's played it yet, and I almost guarantee you once people start playing it, it'll be something new, something refreshing, and they'll dig it. But this game has kind of brought back to life CS:GO a little bit. CS:GO has hit like their peak viewers or peak, I meant players, since forever in the last couple days. Because I think a lot of people are kind of coming back to CS:GO in preparation for Valorant, but it's still a little bit early for that. I mean, I'm not gonna go back and play CS:GO. I probably will never go back and play CS:GO. But yeah, a lot of people are going back and playing CS:GO to try to get back into that style of game, I guess, which is cool, I guess. I mean, good for them, whatever. But CS:GO is getting a lot of viewership right now, and a lot of people are kind of saying, you know, this game's not going to last. It's gonna just die. But the biggest thing is CS:GO really has no competition. It has no one that goes against it. It's so unique in its play style. And I know like Call of Duty S&D is, I mean, it's the same game mode, but it's totally different from CS:GO in almost every way. Just mechanics and like it's the same game mode, but it's a completely different game. But finally, we're gonna have another big, publisher, Riot Games, putting out a 5v5 tactical shooter like CS:GO. That's different with abilities, and that's honestly pretty cool. And that's obviously great for the market because CS:GO really hasn't had to do anything. They haven't had to really push any boundaries or do anything crazy with their game. They've added a few weapons here and there, the MP5, but overall, CS:GO hasn't really changed a lot in recent uh recent years, and one of the big things is they still run, I believe, on 60 tick servers, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Call of Duty private matches are 20, so I mean, Call of Duty's way in the past. But Valorant, the dev said they're guaranteeing, I believe it's 128 tick servers for every server you play on, which is huge. Like that is, that's if you know what now I'm gonna forget the name of it. There's a competitive CS:GO software that people use to matchmake. It costs like $5 a month, and I'm blanking on the name right now. Shoot. But those servers on that, it's like a separate client, and it almost guarantees you that you're not going to run into hackers. And it's what a lot of like the pros use, but the pros are in like S tier. I'm blanking on it. I feel like I need to know this. Uh, I'm not going to know this. Oh gosh. Let's see if it pops up here. I really hope it does. They're good. I'll see it instantly, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, ESEA, ESEA. There we go. Or Face It, but it's kind of a joke, I believe. ESEA is the big one, and they run 128 or 120 or 128. I don't know. I mean, the difference between 8 ticks is nothing. So 128 ticks servers. So ESA already does that, but base CSGO doesn't. And then the other thing base CSGO is gonna kind of have to do is deal with the hackers if Valorant is like hacker free, which is gonna have its issues, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I think it could be cool. Abilities, it just adds another layer to kind of the default just S&D, push a lane, smoke it, take site, plant, retake site, diffuse, like adding a little more to that, which is kind of cool. But I was going into another topic, and I went back into the ESEA thing. Oh no, yeah. So I saw this thing on Twitter, and this guy was talking about how. Oh, it was actually Clayster, I believe, and actually I can pull up his tweet right now so I can read it verbatim. Let's see if I can actually find it. Oh yeah, so he says it's pretty nuts to me the rise in people trying to go pro in games before they're even released. I remember a few years ago that it was unheard of to even let it or to go pro in a game in general, and now to think that people are trying to become pros early, it's pretty crazy. And he was kind of referencing to Fortnite because if people knew how big Fortnite was going to be, like if I knew how big it was going to be, I used to play in season 1 before it was like big, because it was a free to play game on PlayStation. It was one of the free games of the month, so I downloaded it. Season 1, it was probably like a few days after it came out, and then I kind of stopped playing it because it was kind of like beta stages of the game. It was kind of a little clunky, and all of a sudden I look back a month, 2 months later, and it's huge, and I'm like, okay, I wish I would have taken that more serious. But hey, what are you gonna do? But I think a lot of people are trying to get on this bandwagon of going pro in Valorant. There's actually people who are already like, Valorant Pro, no team yet, hit me up, and it's like, okay, here we go. It's actually funny to see though, that kind of thing. But what Clayster was saying is like a few years ago, it was literally like actually unheard of for like just to be a pro gamer. I remember watching MW3XP. I remember watching Big Timer, Nadeshot, Scump, and thinking like, oh, this is so cool. They play the game on like a high level kind of pro. They're on the stage. It's so cool. And I remember watching that back at MW3, and then Black Ops 2 came out, and obviously League play was huge, and people played League play a lot, a ton actually. But the big thing with League play was, I guess, people played it a lot, but and a lot of people took it seriously, but I don't think at the time people realized what or how competitive Call of Duty at like the high level of league play turned into like competitive and professional Call of Duty. Then obviously during Black Ops 2 is when, the league started to gain a ton of traction, and Black Ops 2 really kind of exploded the COD scene into pretty much what it is today. After Black Ops 2, the competitive scene for Call of Duty really expanded. I remember around Advanced Warfare time, there was still, your or was it Violent Pandas and stuff? They were even in Infinite Warfare. But then obviously this last year, teams got bought out. They went to, what do you want to call it? I'm forgetting the word now. But now, obviously there's city teams, Toronto, blah 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 blah. I'll be honest, I'm not really paying attention that much to Call of Duty this season. Like, I'll watch a few of the Huntsman matches because those are the only guys I really care about. Arcities, Formal Scump. But overall, like, this game is so bad. If they would have done franchising's the word, there we go. If they would have done franchising last year during Black Ops 4, it would have been probably 100% more or just better for the scene, because Black Ops 4 was one of those games where every map was simple, pretty much even for both sides, and just basic. Like, it was so easy to understand what was happening, to see what was happening. Modern Warfare is so clunky. The maps are so dark, and the way like the codcaster is and the way it's all set up, it makes it so confusing. I've been playing Call of Duty since 2009, and half the time I'm watching the event, I'm like struggling to see what's happening, especially domination. Don't even get me started. It's such a bad game mode to play and to watch. Like, I can't imagine trying to bring anyone into the esports realm and show them like Call of Duty and then having them watch domination. Like, I don't think they'd understand what's happening with like the neutral caps and then the flip caps and then the flip spawns, and then it's it's bad, especially on Gunrunner. I think that's the map. This It's just not. It could have been so much better last year if they started franchising with Black Ops 4. But don't even get me started on that topic, because that is not. Oh man, they messed up. But hey, what are you gonna do? Last week though, we were talking about Call of Duty's Battle Royale. No new news. Or 2 weeks ago, actually, still no new news. The biggest thing we got is someone was playing the ground war mode, and they went to parachute, and they noticed that you could do this like view where you could look around your parachute. So like they're starting to add little things in for when the battle royale comes out, so you can like that's like the biggest news we got. uh yeah, that's basically it with the battle royale. It'll probably come out within the next few months. I don't know. I mean, to be fair, if it comes out towards the summer, it's not a terrible thing, because normally Call of Duty around the summer, when the league kind of dies down, people kind of stop playing the game. And by that time, the only people really playing the game left are the competitive guys who like playing the game and take it kind of seriously, because all the people who just play it for fun are normally gone by that point. They're already old of it. So if they do release, a battle royale around that summertime, early or late summer, late school for most kids, and then early summer, to give kids a reason to come back to Call of Duty, I guess, which isn't a bad thing, I guess, for Call of Duty. But to be fair, I have absolutely no drive towards the battle royale for Call of Duty. I didn't really like Blackout. The idea sounded cool to have all these iconic maps, but it just didn't turn out I guess the way I was hoping. I don't know. Battle royales just aren't my thing. Though I say that, and I've been playing a ton of Fortnite recently, playing with some of my from some of with some of the boys from work. And I don't know when I got good at the game. I used to grind like the ranked modes with my friend John, and took it kind of seriously. You know, I mean, anytime you're playing like competitively, you kind of take it seriously. I mean, we were trying to get up into like the higher rankings. But I've been playing it recently, and it's been pretty fun. I gotta say. I do miss the old map, but it's been pretty fun. I also just bought a Nintendo Switch. Now I got Zelda Breath of the Wild, and I got Mario Kart. Obviously, two of the bigger games. I still got to get Mario probably next, but that was it's been pretty fun. Zelda's been dope. Mario's been super fun, and obviously Mario has the online mode with the rankings, and so I go super hard in Mario Kart. But I hate how RNG Mario Kart is. But I also got Fortnite on the Switch, and I was sitting down on the couch playing Fortnite on my Switch. I was like, you know what? I gotta get good with a controller. Now the thing is, on with Fortnite on the Switch, kids who play on the Switch are obviously probably younger, and they're bad. Like I'm bad on the Switch because I haven't played with a controller on Fortnite in so long, and I'm smoking these kids. It's bad. So what I decided to do actually earlier today, is I normally play with keyboard and mouse. I got the 90s down. I got everything pretty much down pat. I still got to get better with the edits, but I was like, you know what? Screw it. If I'm playing, with a controller a lot, I might as well just use a controller on PC as well. And so I'm starting to get better with the controller on PC. Still a little bit of a struggle. I gotta learn how to edit a lot faster because these kids are stealing my walls and editing me and shotgunning me in the face. I also gotta learn how to aim again with the controller. I mean, I can still aim, but like obviously this year I haven't been playing a ton of Call of Duty, so I haven't really touched my controller except for Rocket League. Rocket League hit Grand Champ again. I haven't played in like a few weeks, so it reset my rank. So I had to do a few placement matches. Then I got Champ 3, Div 4, played 2 matches, got Grand Champ. Uh, but yeah, Rocket League though, jeez. First match in, toxic, toxic, toxic. Jeez. But, that's just games in general. I guess everyone's toxic. It's one of the reasons, like Fortnite, if they added voice, oh my. That, nah. That would be bad. That would be really bad. Uh, Outside of that, though, man, the only other game I've been playing is Dead by Daylight. I'm rank 2 right now. I'm about to hit rank 1. I just need to do a little more grinding. Obviously, I only have like 10 more days before rank reset, so got to do that within the next 10 days, but we'll see. I don't really care about getting rank 1. I've done it once. That was my goal, just to get to rank 1 once. And I don't really care to do it again. It's not a huge deal for me. I like Dead by Daylight, but I just kind of play it for fun. I used to take it like pretty seriously. I don't know, but it's one of those games where I know everything now, to where it's like it's really not that serious, and people like take it serious, but it's not. I always find it funny. But yeah, that's man, that's kind of it. Still on the search for the next game. I'm trying to find a game that I can play for hours on end and enjoy. Obviously, I got the Nintendo Switch. I've been enjoying Zelda. I've been enjoying Mario Kart. It's been it's been a lot of fun, but obviously they're only gonna last, I guess, so long. So, I mean, Mario Kart is one of the games you can play like nonstop forever, though. It's kind of like Rocket League. You just play match after match, and it's kind of like it's the same thing, but it's like it's addicting. Like Rocket League is more like the same thing over and over again than like battle royales are. And somehow I am just addicted to Rocket League. Though like I don't play it nearly as much as I used to. obviously I hit Grand Champ, and now it's kind of like I either go pro or I sit at Grand Champ. And so I'm just gonna sit at Grand Champ because going to the pro level, that's another. I don't want to do that. I have to learn every mechanic. Yeah, right. And now, if you don't know the musty flick, oh god, some of the mechanics in Rocket League, I don't know how they do it. But yeah, that's kind of all that's happening uh in the gaming world. The only other thing I can add on is Escape from Tarkov. Thank God is slowly starting to dwindle away. It still gets a ton of viewers, still gets a ton of light. A lot of people like the game, but the one big thing is it's starting to dwindle away. Summit, started to do GTA 5, like night streams again, the RP, and that's been a ton of fun to watch. Because, like, I like Escape from Tarkov, but that game is legitimately the same thing over and over and over again. And it's not fun, it's just slow gameplay. And then it takes them 30 minutes to build their loadout while they're in their stash, and it's like, okay. But like GTA 5 RP, it's always a fun time. You know, watching Rocket League, always a fun time. Watching Call of Duty, it's pretty much always a fun time, especially when you're watching guys like Scump. There's something about Escape from Tarkov I've just slowly started to like not like. So it's good to see, people kind of going away from it. I'm sure once the big update comes out with the new map, people are gonna come back to it. But that's fine. New map, it's cool. But yeah, besides that, there's just not a whole lot with games going on. Not a whole lot of games coming out. A ton of these gaming events where reveals were gonna happen are kind of getting shut down and canceled because of the whole coronavirus thing. And yeah, so we're in a little bit of a pit of gaming right now. But hopefully within the next couple of weeks, by the time we do episode number 19, we'll have some crazy new news about something, and the gaming world would be shook. Maybe. Who knows? I'm just hoping for a new modern Battlefield. That's all I want. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's on the table. Uh, So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Yeah, there's really nothing else to bring up. I'm trying to think. There's just nothing. So I guess we'll end it here. Thank you guys so much for watching the Average Gamer Podcast. Again, I think it's episode number 18. I think I have that right. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next few weeks with hopefully better and more interesting news. But if you're watching still, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.